okay? Right here. Right here is where it is. North Farm Road, 2080, East Farm Road, 530. Okay, so that's where the circulation is, and it's going to continue to slide down to the southeast. That's going to be a new tornado warning now for you folks southeast of Sharon, and that's just a little bit behind there. Okay, let's go back to links 1, and what are you looking out at right there? Okay, you're not hot. I can't hear you.
That was SRV.
Okay.
That we were looking at there.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So circulation right here. Okay, southeast of Sharon. There's your hook. It's right here. Okay. Let's just jump a little farther east, and we'll get a storm track on that, Justin, if we can. But let's go a little farther east. You need about 5 more hands, and you'll be good.
Yep.
All right, so the main line, the severe storms we have are now coming into Ames, Piper, back to O'Keene. You can see the gust front here. So anytime you see that green line out ahead of the main line, that basically is the wind is undercutting the storm. So you're not going to get a tornado. You're going to get just wind and hail. If the storms get undercut with a north wind, party's over. You're not going to get a tornado. So that's good news with this. Now, sometimes that gust front, like it is here, will wrap back into the storm, and then areas up here are not being impacted with a northwest wind, so we can still get some problems up north. But right now, storms barreling through Helena. They're going to Hillsdale, Carrier, Lahoma, Enid. They're going into Enid, okay? They're coming into Enid. And they're going to make their way down 412 into Enid, Wacomas, Bison, Hennessy, and they're making their way off to the east, even back up towards Medford. This is going to be this glob up here. But the line extends back down to Canton Lake, and then from there back to Taloga. And Marty Logan's right there. And let's see what Marty has. Let's get an update from Marty. And Marty, you're behind the gust front, which is a good place to be. We're not talking about any tornadoes there, but we're talking about wind and hail. And it looks like a northwest wind. Give us an update on what you've had.
Well, right now we were headed towards Canton, but I pulled up because tornado warning was headed to one of my daughter's houses. So I'm trying to find out if we need to go back towards Taloga as that storm keeps going to the south. Right here, probably about 5 miles west of Canton, I have a north wind and light rain. So just need to figure out which way I need to go right now. Back to you.
Okay, all right. Nice job there, Marty. So once again, Marty is, again, on that severe storm, not the tornadic storm, but still nonetheless, it is still severe, sliding off to the southeast. Okay, back to links 1. And this is what Marty's on. He's on this whole line here. Justin, let's jump in.
And on links 2, I have the storm track.
Let's do that. Storm track, links 2. And this is basically on the most dangerous part of the storm back here in and around the mesocyclone. Sharon Mutual High School, about 11:03. Where are we? We're getting there. Mutual, 11:04. Bisai, 11:06. Taloga at 12:10. And Webb at about 12:13. Okay? So that's going to be on that part of the storm, sliding southeast, Visay, all right, down to the southeast, down to Webb, down to Taloga, all right. If you live anywhere in between these cities, you need to be thinking about this thing right here. That's a possible tornado right now, okay, northwest of Visay. Let's go ahead and zoom on in here, and it's just updated. And take the track off here just for a second. And go ahead and zoom on.
Zoom in.
Yeah, one more time. Okay, so here, back out. Sorry, did the count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 miles, 7 miles north of Visay. Now go ahead and lapse this. Let's see how close it's going to be to Visay. Right? And okay, so it's going to go
kind of between Mutual and Visay.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to split the uprights and go right in between Mutual and Visay, sliding southeast at what's the speed? 20, 25 still?
Yes.
Okay. So it's moving, and it's going to keep sliding down to Highway 60, okay? But if you live in Visay, it's going to go, it looks like at this point, unless it takes a different direction here, just to your northeast, probably 3 miles. And in Mutual, it's going to go to your west about 3 or 4 miles, okay? But there's your area of spin, okay? There's the tornado, but right now it's strong rotation, but it's hard to say if it's strong enough to be on the ground. Let's get, as a matter of fact, I just saw Val shot, and it's not. Let's go to Val Castor. He's right there looking right at it. Val, your lightning there told the whole story. I don't see it on the ground, but there it is. But I don't see a tornado on the ground, which is good news right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, not on the ground that we can see, David. But I'll tell you this: when the lightning lasts a little bit, I can see rotation in the clouds. I know you've probably seen that before, and it's hard to see on a quick lightning strike, but I can see it. So there is rotation in the clouds going on. It's going to be just a little bit east of us right now, and the clouds look really suspect over there. I mean, the lowerings are moving. There's a lot of movement in the base of that thing. That's another indication, that there's something going on with it, is all the movement, because it's changing. Every time it lightnings, it changes a different spot. But there is a pretty good-sized lowering right in that area, David. Back to you.
Okay, well, your shot, thankfully, you have a lot of lightning. And also, Justin, check power outages here. Let's see if we have an update on that. Val's shot, yeah, thank you. A lot of lightning, so that's good. It's when you're tracking tornadoes at night, lots of lightning. There's a lowering right there. I mean, that is for sure hanging down over there. See that? I mean, it's not a cone. I'm not saying that. But be listening for Val in case he starts to get a little squirrely on us, which is a good thing. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, a little bit. No doubt about it. He's looking right at the mezzo. And how many power outages? What do you think? All right.
Ellis County, 500. That's the only county right now that's reporting power outages. 500
customers in Ellis County.
Yeah.
That's about 1,500 people, give or take, without power. So, okay. We're going to end up with a few more. All right. Let's go back to Lynx 1 and look at the broad view. Thunderstorms here running from Medford in Grant County all the way west of Enid. These are severe now, just barreling through Fairview. Get ready, Hennessy and Dover and Enid. Get ready for some wind, 50 to 60 miles per hour, nickel and dime and quarter-size hail. And then back down to Roll. And we'll switch radars here in just a second. But these storms are getting stronger now. Over Roll, down to Cheyenne, and everything again sliding southeast. So look at the hail core now coming into Roll. These storms are severe now. That's severe. This is a News 9 severe thunderstorm warning for Roll, down to Cheyenne, down to Elk City, down to Sayre. They're going to be moving their way in. And folks, winds in here, 50 to 60 miles per hour. Could we get another tornado warning out of those storms? Absolutely. Absolutely. We have some low-level dynamics in play tonight that could happen, all right? So, again, Roger Mills County, Cheyenne, Dempsey, Elk City, Sayre, Eric, it's coming. And we have a small little gap in here, but I think the gap will fill in. And so, again, Beckham County, talking about Greer County, get ready. Talking about Harmon County, get ready as these storms come in from the northwest, okay? All right, Justin, let's go back to the tornado warning storm now. That's going to be in Woodward County. And again, here, Woodward's well to the north. There's your hook showing up right there. And are you still out of Vance?
Yeah, I'm in Vance right now.
Okay, just for kicks and giggles, let's look at TLX real quick.
Okay.
And I know it's way out there. I just want to see what it looks like on TLX. Okay. And then also go to our live. It'll look just like that. I get it, but I just want to see. Okay. All right. And then go back to Amarillo. Okay. All right. I just want to see what it looks like. Just make sure they're all good and all the radars. We're switching many radars here to see it. So there's your couplet. The red up against the blue right here. It's pretty tight.
It does tighten up.
Yeah, it is tighter. All right, let's go back to Val now. Tornado safe spot west and south of Mutual. West and south of Mutual. Tornado safe spot, lowest level. Go ahead, Val. Tornado warning continues, and it's getting a little bit tighter. Go ahead, Val.
Yeah, it's kind of what it looked like to us too, David, looking at the radar and looking at the velocities. And when it lightnings again, you'll see there's still a very pronounced lowering. And we are looking due east. We're on a paved road here looking due east. And it's right there in front of us. I'm going to slow down here a minute so that we can get a little bit more of a steady shot. It's got a lightning just right to see it, but it's there. And every time it lightnings, I mentioned this a while ago, the lowering in the sky changes real fast. And a couple times I could actually visually see a little bit of rotation and the longer lightning strikes. So it's significant. Really surprised me how fast this thing ramped up, but that's, it's April in Oklahoma. That's what can happen, David. Back to you.
Yeah, for sure. So, Val, this storm made a little bit more of a turn to the east. It is still moving southeast, obviously, but it did make more of a turn. But great shot there. Folks, there it is right there. There's the wall cloud. You're seeing it live with me and Val and Amy, and we're looking right at it. And I don't see, again, we don't see it on the ground. It's not on the ground. If you're on the ground, you'd see it right here live on News 9. Okay, let's go back to links 1 and shear rate. Boom. Shear rate's right there, right? And sometimes on shear rate, you'll get a tornado in that. That'll be enough. And then some days, it just depends on the environment. It'll be up in the extreme category, right? But right here is where the tornado is going to be. It's going to be just in front of Val, like about a half mile or so. And it's dropping southeast. There's the couplet. Okay, you watch it here. Watch the couplet right here. Might have weakened a little bit on the last couple of scans. You're still in SRV? Yeah, you are. Okay, west of Mutual. So that might have weakened a little bit. Okay, might have weakened a little bit, which is good. Maximum rotation. This is everything put together and putting a bow on it for you. And this is where its rotation is maximized here by looking at the radar and the algorithms inside the radar. So there's Mutual, and there's your spin. Okay, and that's going to be dropping again. By the way, hail sizes are, nickel and dime. This is all about shear tonight. This is all about spin. This doesn't have any big hail. We had huge hail earlier. We had gorilla hail north of Freedom earlier. And even up into Harper County had some big hail. But there's your hook. Okay. So let's talk about what's down the line. Sestos back to Visay. Okay. And it's going to keep sliding off to the southeast. Okay. And where's Marty Logan again? I hear him. Marty's back in the storm down here. What's he talking about?
I don't know. We see.
Okay. He's a little bit farther south and east. All right, so the tornado warning continues for southern Woodward County, diving southeast down towards Sestos, and looks like right now the circulation, as we said, was going to go north and east to Visay. So Justin, go ahead. Let's zoom on into this, take a closer look. And Val's right there. And what radar? Are you still Vance? Yeah, you are. Okay, so there's your inflow notch. There's your hook. Okay, let's go to Val. Let's bring Val back in. Val, I see your shot. I see the lightning. Man, you got some good lightning. I'll say that. Some great roads. Dewey County.
Yes.
Nice roads. Go ahead. I know you're headed over towards Mutual. What do you think looking at it here?
Yeah, let me tell you what just happened. So we stopped, and we're very close to the circulation. I want to say it's maybe just east of us. We thought it was east of us. It might have been right over us because we started getting west winds. The winds were pretty calm, and then all of a sudden the winds turned straight west, gusting to probably 50 or so, and then something strange happened. It turned to the south. The winds abruptly turned to the south and started gusting just about as much. Now it looks like that it's definitely east of us because our winds are west-northwest now, and the rain is coming in. So it's definitely an active situation here, David. There is rotation up above, and this is legitimate. We're going to watch it close. Back to you.
Okay. Yep, for sure. And we'll see. He's obviously still getting inflow into the storm. And when you see the lightning flashes come up, you'll see the wall cloud. You'll see the lowering, right? Compared to what we had earlier today, we had a huge storm producing. You saw it live on News 9, multiple tornadoes. All right, so tornado warning continues west of Mutual, north of Visay. And let's go back to links 1, and you can see the hook right here. Val and Amy are right here. They're looking right at it. And Mutual's off to your east, and the tornado warning is going to continue again back to the west here. So it's going to slide down. It's going to go east of Visay as it slides down to the southeast, down towards Sestos, okay? All right, so Mutual, the hook is going to be just to your west. You can clearly see the hook and the rotation where that is. So again, everything's sliding southeast now at about 20, 25 miles per hour. All right, let's kind of back out of this, Justin, if we can. And we'll roll out of this and see what's going on kind of on the big view. All right, so here's the whole line running from Medford, not severe, okay? Small hail, gusty winds, Medford, Jet, Helena. These are nearly severe, though, over Jet and Helena, I'll say that. And they're going to go to Medford, they're going to go to Kremlin, they're going to go to Lamont, Ponca City, down to Billings and Garber. You're going to get these storms tonight. These are basically over here, up here, moving almost due east, okay? And then the storms over Ames and O'Keene are headed down towards Hennessy, okay? And then we have the weaker storms, but that storm over Roll is severe. And I know there's not an official warning on it, but this is a News 9 severe thunderstorm warning for that storm. It's coming into Cheyenne and could produce some damaging winds at any time in and north of Cheyenne up to Roll. It's going to Dempsey. It's going to Elk City. It's going to Sayre. As those slide south and east, we have the tornado warning still continuing for southeastern Woodward County, about ready to move into Dewey County. And then other big storms up in the Texas Panhandle, which will also make their way into Beckham County. And look at the hook on that trying to come back northwest of Wheeler. So hook, 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 all supercells tonight. Wow. All supercells. Now this is not so much. This is just a big severe storm in here. And still big enough though. But big hail in here. Justin, turn on the hail sizes. Out of AMA is fine. I just want to see what this looks like. It's still showing quarters. There's no way. The hail cores are too big in that. I know we're aloft, but that storm's pretty much severe now. Overall, going to Cheyenne. Okay, go back to reflectivity, and let's go ahead and zoom on in.
Which one, the Roll?
Yeah, sorry, yeah, on the Roger Mills County. Hail core just south of Roll, right over the Black Kettle campground. So a rough night for camping. Right, down to Strong City, down to Cheyenne. From there, it's going to go right down 283 and back to Rayton. Okay, the whole thing is sliding down to the south now at around 20 miles per hour. Might be a little bit slower movement out west. We'll say 20 out here with this line. So again, this will go through Roger Mills County, into Beckham County, into Harmon County, and eventually down into Jackson County, down towards Altus, Harmon County, talking about Mangum. In Greer County, talking about Harmon County and Hollis. So this big glob of storms to your north is going to move south tonight. Moving south right now and will arrive tonight. We'll get you a storm track coming up. All right, let's come back to the tornado warning now. And big hail here just south of Roll. And here's the tornado warning right here. There's your hook. And you're thinking, that is a tiny storm. You're right, it's not a very big storm, okay? Which is a good thing. And but there's the hook. Val's right here, right where he should be, looking right at it. Circulation now is just to his south and east. He's looking off now to his south. Circulation's right there. We'll see if it doesn't weaken as it slides down and crosses Highway 60 east of Vicide, like we've been saying, and on or west of Sestos. Okay, it's going to go on pretty close to Sestos. That's going to be in northern Dewey County. It might go right over that city. Okay, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. Okay, so the tornado warning continues. And Vicide, I think this is going to be, I don't think you're in it. I think if you're east of Vicide, again, over towards Sestos, and then down towards Taloga and possibly Sealing, this is going to be the line of fire in here, where this thing is going to keep moving southeast. So tornado warnings now continue into Dewey County. And new tornado warnings now all the way into Dewey County. And once again, sliding southeast at about 20 miles per hour. Other storms are going up now west of Oakwood, and these are getting a little bit stronger. The gust front wraps back into this, so right now this would be basically a wind and hail threat, and nothing in there right now looks scary to me. Severe storm coming in on Ames and Piper and O'Keene, going to Lacey, going to Barr. Pretty good hail core right here, Justin. Let's zoom in on, you're out of Tail X. Okay, go ahead and zoom in on that. So quarter size hail over Crystal Lake. See what Vance looks like out of this. I just on the radar, just want to see. That's Vance? Okay. So, all right, let's go a little farther north then, up the line on the hail. And nickels and dimes and quarters, northwest of Nash. Okay, you can see the pockets of quarter size hail. Okay, so that's what's happening here. Marginally severe. Okay, low end severe. Winds maybe 50 miles per hour. Running from Medford back down to Hillsdale, back down to Carrier and Lahoma. Still going to Enid. Been mentioning Enid here for the last hour and a half. Still going to Enid. And looking for any crazy wind. There's just not, that had some wind in it. There's been a little bit of wind in here, 40 to 50. Okay, quarter size hail. Not really technically severe, but still strong enough, okay? All right, back down the line. Running from Ames, that's coming into southwestern Garfield County, all of western Garfield County, but the severe storm, southwestern Garvin, northwestern Kingfisher County, That again, sliding southeast. See that gust front, that green line? That's a good sign. The whole line is being undercut with the northwest wind. So severe, yes. Tornadic, no. Not with that. Won't do it. Going to Lacey, going to Hennessy, going to Dover, going to Kingfisher. Okay, other storms, have you seen that coming up now? Those are increasing. The line is basically filling in, and it's turning into somewhat of a squall line here with some damaging wind and hail along the line. Pretty good storm now coming into Oakwood. Look at that. That's pretty good there now. Hail course coming up on that. That's just about severe. So this is going to be coming into Oklahoma City. And eventually this will make its way into the metro as it comes out of Blaine County down to the southeast, right? Marty's right there. Quarter-size hail now northwest of Oakwood. And as we get back to the west here, looking at hail sizes. And again, now up to quarter-size hail south of Roll. I buy every bit of that. And some big hail out in the Panhandle. So once again, tornado warning continues, leaving, about ready to leave Woodward County into Dewey County. And what's crazy is this whole line is out ahead of that storm. And normally when you have a line of storms like that, it's disrupting all the air flowing into it. It acts like a wall, right? And we have what we call a low-level jet. It's just a stronger belt of winds at about 3,000 to 5,000 feet up. These winds are being impacted by this line down to the south, but this storm doesn't care. For whatever reason, the winds are still enough out of the southeast to keep this thing spinning. Circulation now is southwest of Mutual. Let's go ahead and zoom on in on that, Justin. Take a closer look. And center of the spin is right here. Val is back to Mutual. And there's your spin, right? What time is it right now? 10:58, okay. And turn on shear rate, okay, right where it should be, areas of spin. So we'll see. There's maximum rotation, right where it should be. Okay, so, and hail sizes still. I mean, really? It's just, I mean, dime-size hail. No hail, but spin and a hook, right? So there's something about this environment that this storm loves. And oh yeah, the storm is 8.5 miles across. Wow. It's a small storm with a tornado warning. Okay. Whatever, Mother Nature. Do what you're going to do. Okay.
But that definitely, that couplet is definitely weaker.
Yeah, and broader.
And a little bit more broad.
Yeah.
But it's still spinning aloft.
Yeah, definitely more broad for sure. Going to Sestos. Still think it's going to go pretty much on or just west of Sestos, it looks like. Okay. Let's kind of give everybody the big view. Maybe go back to Oklahoma City. Radar here. Let's kind of switch. This whole line, boy, it's firmed up, hadn't it? I mean, it's really firmed up. And besides that, we have the one tornado warning, again, for southeastern, again, Woodward County, moving into Dewey County. And then we have a solid line of storms running from Medford, back down west of Hennessy, back down to Thomas, Butler, and back out towards Wheeler and clear out in the Texas Panhandle. Look at the line of storm. This is why we had on our early shows a high chance of storms tonight. Wow. And there might be, we'll see, some of the data saying we get another line to coming out of that. We'll see. This is going to really clean us out, though. And we'll see what happens.
And they have extended the watch, the severe thunderstorm watch now, to the south for this developing line. That goes all the way through Hollis and Fort Cobb and Oklahoma City. Yeah,
and that's the right move, right? That's a no-brainer, as you have a solid line of thunderstorms in here that are going to be severe off and on, with every now and then you might get a tornado threat. So, Justin, let's go ahead and draw a storm track. I tell you what, we need to do two. We need to do one from about there to there, right? And then let's do one from about there to there, and we'll talk about our friends in the Southwest. But kind of do this one first. And again, the storm west of Hennessy here, that's weakened just a bit. It's marginally severe, nickel and dime size hail, and some quarters though. West-northwest of Hennessy. Some nice rain in here, right? Some good rains. We're getting a good solid. Now earlier we had a half a foot of rain up into Harper County and parts of Woods County and Woodward County. But now we're getting, you'll get a good solid ½ inch to an inch of rain. You might see a little more than that, but I think a minimum will be a ½ inch, which this is going right over the wheat belts and the wheat belt of northern Oklahoma, northwestern Oklahoma, but too much rain isn't good. And big hail on wheat's not good. But either way, here's your line. And again, running from Medford down to Wacomas. So the tornado warning continues southeastern Woodward County into Dewey County. We'll jump back in on that here in just a couple of minutes. And then the line extends all the way back out to Cheyenne. Elk City, Clinton, severe storm now. Like I was saying about 30 minutes ago, that storm was severe. It's coming into Cheyenne and Butler. It's going to Clinton. It's going to Elk City. And we'll get you a storm track coming up. So let's talk about the Lynx 2 here, the line up north. And, okay, so Watauga, 11:12, Billings at about 11:24, Kingfisher, 11:45, Ponca City at about 11:50, Perry at about midnight tonight, and Guthrie at about 12:30, El Reno, 12:47. Again, this is on this leading edge, right, of the storms, right? The gust front will hit you first. You'll have a northwest wind, and then you'll get the rain and obviously the hail and the wind and all that. We'll say Stillwater, 12:44 in the morning. El Reno, 12:47. Pawnee at about 1 o'clock in the morning. Edmond at about 1 o'clock in the morning. And downtown Oklahoma City at about 1:24. And Tinker Air Force Base at about 1:41 as these keep marching to the southeast. So Moore at about 2 o'clock in the morning, okay? And Stroud at about 2:06. Newcastle at about 2:11. So once again, everything here sliding southeast. Once again, Oklahoma City Metro. Once again, El Reno, 12:45 in the morning. Southeast Metro, Moore at about 2 o'clock in the morning, okay? Moving southeast. Might pick up a little speed. What'd you do the speed on that? Just curious. They might start to pick up some speed. We'll see.
Right now, I did about 25.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Okay, so let's jump back into another storm track. And let's get back into western Oklahoma.
And then I have Lynx 3.
Lynx 3. And we got to include, can you do one? Let's do like from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a second here.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're just going to have to redraw it.
Yep.
Okay, so I want to point out this whole line is firmed up. Remember earlier we had the storms there, and this whole thing has just gone into overdrive mode as far as ramping up, right? And the severe storms, again, are going to keep, developing and pushing, take it all the way to Altus and Snyder.
Yep.
But again, everything pushing off to the southeast now at around 25 miles per hour. We'll get rid of some of these smaller cities and just kind of bring in some of the bigger cities, because if we had all the smaller cities, we couldn't show them all. There's too many, obviously. So Clinton at about 11:20, Elk City 11:24, Sayre 11:38, give or take a little bit, a couple of minutes. It's going to be off some. El Reno 12:23, that's on the other side there. El Reno 12:30 roughly with the northern part of the line. Mangum 12:50, Hollis 1 o'clock in the morning, Chickasha 1:30, Altus at about 1:32 in the morning, and we'll say Snyder at about 1:40 in the morning, Lawton at about 2 o'clock in the morning, and Frederick at about 2:20.
Yeah, that part of the storm system seems to be sliding south a little bit faster.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. So severe storm now coming in on Elk City, and coming in on Cheyenne, going to Elk City, going to Clinton. The whole line is going to go to Watauga. It's going to go to Weatherford. It's going to go to El Reno. But the severe storms are back here in Roger Mills County. All right, Justin, let's go back to, are you on Lynx 1?
Yes.
Okay, Lynx 1, and let's go back and zoom in on the storm here. Let's see what's going on with our tornadic storm as it makes its way south and east near Mutual. And boy, it's a tiny storm. Man, it's tiny but mighty. And again, it's going to go right over Sestos. Right over Sestos, just in northern Dewey County. Well east of Visay. And by the way, is there anything north of this into Kansas? Some of the data was trying to break out stuff up there. We've got something up here.
Not really.
That might, you know what, that jet, that might actually. Oh, there we go. There's the overnight stuff. See that? That's what some of the data has, this whole thing turning south and east tonight. How about that? Man, we're going to get a lot of rain. Goodness gracious. We're really going to try to completely, the drought for Oklahoma City and south and east is gone. But we are really going to try to end the drought in northwestern Oklahoma. We're going to try. Okay, let's go back to Val. Tornado warning continues. Val, your storm is, like I said, tiny but mighty. Not very big, but it continues to push off to the southeast. It's not as big as what it was, and the couplet is not as strong as what it was, but still rotating. Go ahead, Val. There's your rain-free base. Great job. Go ahead, Val.
Yeah, that's going to be the base of it right there, David. We're pretty much right under it. We've been staying with it here, and I got to tell you that a little bit earlier we had the circulation pass right over top of us. Our winds got very erratic and very strong. That was a confirmation, basically, that the meso was up above us, and it had an effect on what was going on the ground, but it wasn't strong enough to produce a tornado. So right now, just like you said a minute ago, it looks like it might have weakened. We're kind of confirming that right here at the surface. To us, it looks like it's weakened. It's kind of lost some of its definition in the lowering and in the base and in the wind field. Some of the rain is starting to fill in a little bit as well, and that might be part of it. But a little earlier, it weakened pretty fast and then re-strengthened just as fast. So just like you said earlier, David, these things that are spinning like this, it takes a while for them to completely stop spinning. So therefore, it needs to be watched. Back to you.
Okay, all right, nice job, Val. So we'll see what it does. Val, and what's amazing, Val, that storm is behind this entire line, and it is still going. It is still going. It's not very big.
That is amazing.
I mean, it's behind the whole line. I mean, the whole wall of the low-level winds are just completely, you think shutting this thing off, but this thing is not giving up. Okay, back to Lynx 1. Nice job, Val. So the storms, again, coming into Enid to Hennessy. You can see the gust front here, not severe. Low end severe at most with wind and hail and up to some quarter-size hail coming into Kremlin and Enid, back down to Hennessy. And let's turn the hail sizes on here. Let's see what we have. I know we have nickels and dimes. And there are pockets of quarters in here. So there might be again, these are not, they're not just, marginally severe. Yes, let's just say that low end severe, especially this one west of Hennessy. It's got a pretty decent hail core on it. So the whole line is not severe. But it is kind of moving off to the east. Okay, let's put the radar back on. You can see the storm strength. And that storm is really stout. And these are kind of hanging their own here. They've kind of weakened a little bit. All right, let's go back to reflectivity here, Justin. And, man, look at this. Hey, Labsat, looks like an MCV almost trying to form up north. Look at the bands. See that?
Oh, yeah. We talked about this earlier, how those bands across northern half up towards Newkirk, Ponca City, were coming back from the east to west. So it's being pulled in. So very low pressure that's formed from this thunderstorm complex.
Yeah.
Once they get going, they will go all night.
All night. This thing is going
It's the third night in a row that we've had one of these.
Yeah, but the last two mornings, it's been in southwestern Oklahoma. But this is going to sweep across much of Oklahoma tonight. All right, so you can see a little bit of a spin right there now. Not a tornadic spin, but a much broader upper level spin. And that's what we call an MCV. It's a mesoscale convective vortex. And it's just a ball of energy. It's becoming a low pressure area. And we sometimes can get wind coming out of this. You can get damaging winds sometimes. We need to watch that. But see how these bands are really starting to enhance? It kind of looks like fingers. Look at that. Kind of looks like fingers coming back at you, right? And those are this whole thing basically pulling everything out ahead of it. Looks like just like an ugly bunch of fingers ripping this thing back to the west.
Once the engine starts on one of these, the low-level jet just continues to feed them, and they will spin all the way until we get the daytime heating, and then the dynamics change in the atmosphere.
Yep.
As, once again, you and I have talked about it, David, another June storm system. This is what we have in June a lot of times, because that's why June is such a wet month for us, is because we get these big complexes of thunderstorms, widespread, slow movers, a lot of moisture, and they put down a lot of rains. So this is some great news for April to see these kind of storm systems come through. But again, unfortunately, it comes with a little bit of wind and hail and that tornadic threat here this evening.
Yeah, of course, we had 4 tornadoes today up in Woods and Woodward County. We brought those to you live right here on News 9, and wow, just crazy. Okay, so we'll have to watch this, but it's like we said earlier, Newkirk, Ponca City, Billings, it's coming. Heavy rain, small hail, mainly nickel and dime size hail, now moving through Enid. It's coming right down to 412. And it's going to Billings, Ponca City, Newkirk, Perry. You're all going to get this line, okay, as it makes its way east. But hill sizes in here are pretty small. Hill size in that's pretty good size. Probably some quarters in there, okay? And then as we get back down to Hitchcock, here's Marty. Let's get an update from Marty on his wind and what he has. He's northwest of Watonga there. And Marty, we have your shot. You are now hot. And go ahead and give us an update.
Well, right now we are headed down to the junction to go back east towards Watonga, but we do have a pretty strong complex of storms straight to our west. And what I was going to do, find me a hilltop, turn and look at that right quick, because that just got intensified probably in about last 5-10 minutes. And what I don't understand, just like you're talking about, why is that storm staying tornadic there? The inflow to it from the south should be rain-cooled. It's not making sense. So anyway, I'm going to turn to the west, take a look at this. Right now we are receiving no moisture at all where I'm at. Back to you.
Right on the front lip, he's in western Blaine County, now northwest of Watonga, and he has some pretty good-sized hail just on his back bumper there, right? Okay, let's go back to Lynx 1, and this is this ball of energy now, continues to form. The wind thread up here right now, winds. Let's go to velocity data. Let's take a look and see what we have up here. And, yep, there it is. It's starting to settle in now. There's your gust front coming through Enid. And then behind that, we're looking at winds right now about 40 to 50. Certainly not crazy wind, but 40 to 50 now is going to be coming into Enid up to Kremlin as this ball of energy. And the wind could get stronger, right? This isn't quite severe, but there you go. Boom, just like that. It's severe now. Wasn't quite, but it's close enough, right? So Enid, severe thunderstorm warning for you, going down 412, going to Garber. Winds will be 50 to 60 miles per hour. So let's go ahead and zoom on in for our friends up in Enid, and that will include Vance Air Force Base. And here comes the wind now. Winds are going to be 50 to 60. And what do we have? That's showing almost nothing, 20 to 30. But I can tell you, there's going to be winds 40 to 50 with some gusts of 60. Hill sizes in here, Justin. What do we have on that? Yeah, hill sizes are still nickel and dime. Still some quarters up near Hillsdale and also down north of Parvin, west of Cato. And let's go back to reflectivity. Look at the biggest cores. Lightning and thunder. Lots of lightning just now coming into the Enid area. So the wind in this, I'd say 50 right now. There might be a gust of 60. That could change in a matter of minutes. But this is going to Billings, Hunter, Garber, Covington, Douglas, right? Etna over to Perry. Yep, Black Bear, Red Rock. It's going your way. Okay, northern Oklahoma, talking about Grant County and Kay County. Not severe right now, but we'll see what it does up here. Right now, you're getting some general rain and some lightning and thunder. But the big show with this is coming through, again, Garfield County. All right, so the storm in Kingfisher County and Blaine County, that's what's headed towards Oklahoma City. Not quite severe, but it's coming. And then we have the tornado warning now where Val is, southeast of Mutual, now moving into Sestos, now leaving, about ready to leave Woodward County, moving into northern Dewey County. Circulation is still there. It's tiny. And if this gets any weaker, that tornado warning will be dropped, okay? It will be dropped. All right, let's come back to the west. Let's jump into southwestern Oklahoma here. We'll switch radars on you. And talking about more, that's a big hail core there, east of Cheyenne. And, okay, look at this. You see this? This is what I'm talking about here. That is coming back in a big hurry. Go to velocity data. This is out in the panhandle, but this is coming into, yep, that's gonna get a tornado warning on it. Right? It's right over Mobeetie. And it's going to Wheeler, and then from there, like we've been saying, it's going to head down towards Beckham County. It's going to go to Beckham County, and we might have a tornado warning for Beckham County, okay? All right? He's on the border out there. Okay. His GPS shows him at Wheeler. Is his GPS off? Ask him where he is. Okay. All right, so folks, again, this is a rotating supercell. Go back to reflectivity here. Justin, go back to reflectivity. And just tell him to stay with it. Stay with the hook on that. Tell him not, just stay with it and bring it into Oklahoma. Tell him he's got to get south and east. Hang on, zoom in here. Let me see what the roads look like. It's been a minute. Yeah, okay.
Well, he has 152 that he can take it into Wheeler.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it goes through. Okay. No, he's in great shape. Is this where he is?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. So tell him to just stay with it. We'll just bring it in now. That is a big hook. That's almost tornado warning. Now, go to shear rate on that out of AMA. I'm just curious what that looks like. Yeah, it's coming up. Everything's coming up on that. That's going to try to produce, that's going to try to produce another tornado. And you're thinking, well, I don't care. It's way out there. Well, the problem is that's moving towards Oklahoma. So we do care about it, right? All right, let's come back east now. Brandon's right there. And that's a supercell. Other supercell now. Hank is in Elk City. This is going to be out near Cheyenne. Now, this is not quite the classic supercell. There's going to be some mid-level rotation, but certainly not anything like that beast right there. That's a legit supercell. But we got to keep an eye on this. Okay, let's come back farther east on the radars here. Maybe do FDR. Okay. Let's go ahead and zoom on in. This is severe again. Heaviest part of this, strongest part of this storm now southeast of Strong City. There's your hail core. Big hail now. Southeast of Strong City, golf balls, and might even have some tennis balls in there. But I think quarters and golf balls, probably the max right now. And let's look at hail sizes here, Justin. Okay, yep, showing golf balls. Okay, in between Cheyenne and Hammond, crossing 33. You can see that little blip right there, north of Herring. Right? There's your just east of Strong City. Hail core right there. And that's going to be golf balls. And that's going to slide down towards Carpenter, okay? And then from there, you know where it's going. It's going down towards Elk City, and it'll cross I-40. So there's going to be wind and hail crossing I-40. And every time we get a big, long event like this, we get, hopefully not, but people driving at night, we get semis overturned, we get cars that hydroplane. There's just a lot of traffic out there. So we hope that everybody driving out here will basically, stop, give it a minute here, try to get as far as you can, but not a good night to be on I-40, and it won't be as these storms come on in. Okay, so Justin, let's do another storm track, and we'll have to do 2 or 3 here because the storms up north are moving almost due east. So we'll have to do a couple, probably 2 or 3. Let's kind of do the metro from like Hennessy down to like Thomas. You know what I mean? Let's kind of do central Oklahoma first. And we'll get your timeline here. And, okay. Yeah, and we'll get this going here. So the only tornado warning we have left, we have the one, right? And now moving into northern Dewey County. That's right there, that little small storm. And then out ahead of that, we've just got a big bowed line of storms, pockets of severe along the line. Marty's now coming into Blaine County, and he's making his way southeast. Jeremy's now coming through Weatherford, and Hank's in behind him. We have Brandon out here on that part of the storm. So what a day. I mean, we had at least 4 tornadoes today. It's hard to believe we did not have any damage. We know we had a couple things hit because we saw them getting hit with debris in the air and things like that, but no injuries or fatalities today. We've had some flooding. And let's go to links 2. And this is the storm track that will include all of central Oklahoma, all of the metro, Watonga, 11:25, Kingfisher, midnight, Guthrie, 12:38, Langston, 12:46, El Reno at about 12:54, and we'll say Edmond at about 1 o'clock in the morning, downtown Oklahoma City at about 1:38, Chandler at about 1:53, Tinker Air Force Base 1:54, and we'll do more at about 2 o'clock in the morning, Newcastle 2:06, Norman at about 2:30, Shawnee at about 2:45, and Purcell at about 3 o'clock in the morning. So as you can imagine, this will be loud when these storms come through with a lot of lightning and thunder, and again, going to have hail along the entire line. Not all the hail is going to be big. On this part of the line right now, it's mainly nickel and dime size hail, and Marty's right there. Let's get an update from Marty, Justin, and let's bring him in. And Marty, we're going to bring your shot up. And what's your wind been so far? You're kind of on that leading edge. Go ahead, Marty. Give us an update on your wind.
Well, right now, when I got out a little earlier, we were out of the east. Now it looks like we're changing to the northeast, and we're out in advance of that line. We're looking back towards, you know what? We were looking at the lights at the sand plant, those lights are off. So we were looking back northwest, sand plants south of Oakwood on Highway 270. Well, their lights have just went out. So that's the direction I'm watching, is northwest, because that tornado warning storm that Val was on is behind this leading edge. And looking for little kinks. I don't know if that's what will happen now, since this is starting to line out and get a little bit of a bow to it. So we're sitting here keeping an eye on it. Back to you, David. All
right, nice job, Marty Logan. Well, good job there. Again, Lynx 3. Is that what you said, Justin?
Yeah, next storm track.
Okay, Lynx 3. This is going to be the next storm track down the line, and taking you back into parts of western and southwestern Oklahoma here. And this will take you down to Hollis and Mangum, Tom's down there, over to Hobart. And the whole line, again, moving south. Watonga at about 11:26, we'll say Elk City, 11:48, Clinton, 11:50, Sayre, 11:55, El Reno, 12:29 in the morning. We'll do Mangum at 1 a.m., Hobart about the same, about 1 o'clock in the morning, Hollis 1:19, Altus 1:42, and Snyder at about 1:55, okay? That's southwest Oklahoma. Let's go to Val and bring Val in here and get an update from Val. Val, what do you think? Your storm now is in Dewey County. Tornado warning continues. And I can hear the hail and circulation. It's not very big, but it's still there as it makes its way off to the southeast. Go ahead, Val.
Yeah, you know, David, this is crazy. I mean, it's a small storm. It's behind the line, just like you said earlier, and it's still tornado warned, and it's still spinning. I mean, the lowering, the feature with it, is not as impressive as it was earlier, for sure. But I'll tell you this, we started getting quarter-sized hail with this storm. We've off and on had dimes, nickels, and quarters, and we're getting quarters right now. It just now passed us. With this tiny little storm, this tornado-warned, quarter-sized hail. Crazy stuff going on out here, David. Back to you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the main line should be robbing all of this of most of its energy from the south, but yet this thing continues to hang on. So, okay, nice job, Val. That's where the tornado warning is. We'll get back to that right now and go back to Lynx 1. So here's the main line. Nothing tornadic along this line right now. This storm out here might become tornadic in the Texas Panhandle here shortly out near Wheeler, and we got to watch that. I've been saying, gosh, Beckham County for 5 hours now that I thought that Ellis or Roger Mills County might have something going on here, and here it comes. And I'm talking about something tornadic. We'll see. Right now it's not tornadic, but it's getting close. It's a big, big screaming eagle, big supercell, big rotating thunderstorm. But the other storms that are severe, running from Cheyenne, now north of Clinton and Weatherford, and up near north of Thomas. Marty's storm not quite severe, but the tornado warning now has been dropped. It's over with, basically, for Val's storm in Dewey County. So that thing, I'm telling you, it was an overachiever. It started off in a good place as far as being, I understand why it was doing what it was doing where it was, but being behind the line and so close to the line, this thing was still able to just keep that tornado threat going. So great news there is that warning is now gone. Okay, so just another storm track for the up north. Lynx 5. Okay, you're working your money tonight. There you go. I got you. Lynx 5, this is up north now. And Billings at about 11:48, moving east, right? Going to have some wind in here. Little piece of energy forming right here, moving through Enid right now. And could see winds 40 to 50. There might be some gusts to 60, but it's not a high-end severe wind event. It's not that. Not right now. Okay, instability today up here overall is not crazy high, but it's still obviously high enough. But this is not one of our like, oh my gosh, winds 70, 80, 90, 100 miles an hour. Not with this. Billings, 11:48, Kingfisher, 11:52, Perry, 12:14, Ponca City, 12:18, and Guthrie at about 12:39. We'll say Stillwater at about 12:50, and Pawnee at about 1:06, Edmond at about 1:11 in the morning, Cushing at about 1:32, as it again makes its way off to the southeast. So the whole line making its way south and east and south. These will move into Oklahoma City. And again, it'll be after midnight, obviously, before they get here. And right now it's 11:26, but we still have about an hour and a half away before they, again, come into Oklahoma City. But the tornado warning has expired, and which is good. But the whole line itself couple of strong to severe storms, and then back out to the west here. Let's go back to Lynx 1 and show you the storms in the west. And these are now coming through. We're just everything's north of I-40. But
and now we're down to 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in the state.
Yeah. But
no tornado warning, just 2 warnings.
Yeah,
severe one.
This is what I'm worried about, though. Go ahead, go back to AMA on that. Let me see what that looks like.
I think it's still diving south.
Okay. Let's see. God, look. Okay, that looks better. I like how that's kind of folding in. I mean, it's still there. We'll see. But it's going to, you know, hopefully this will stay. I still think it makes its way in at some point. Beckham, down to Harmon, possibly. We'll see. But that's a big storm. Okay, let's come back to the east and look at radar here. Big storm now coming into Carpenter and Hammond, and then north of Clinton. Everything's sliding southeast at roughly about 20, 25 miles per hour. Let's kind of go up the line here, Justin, up to Watonga, up to Dover now. These are at Dover. Here's Oklahoma City. And again, these are coming into the metro. Right, and Jeremy Carter, he's at Hydro. He's making his way east. These are moving southeast at about 20.
Yeah, Marty's 25. Just west of Watonga, about to get hit hard with that core.
He's going to get some hail there. Folks, we're going to take about a 2-minute break, and we are in. Trackers are out. No tornado warnings in effect. Stay with News 9. We'll keep you advised.
Hi, I'm Cole Dorsey at Dorsey Jones GMC. Come see why we have better savings than the other dealers.
2025 GMC Sierra SLT Crew Cab 4x4 take up to $12,500 off MSRP. 2024 GMC Yukons take $6,000 off MSRP. See dealer for complete details.
Why do we offer these great savings? Because we consider you family. Dorsey Jones GMC, drive the best, just 15 minutes west.
Touchmark is a family-owned company. They've been in business for over 40 years. When residents come in and they're looking for a plan for their future, we are just here to help them navigate. In this industry, it's very common for companies to be bought and sold, and some of them are even run by management groups. But Touchmark is completely family-owned. We are never going to be bought or sold. We build our buildings from the ground up. So working for a family-owned business, there's nothing like it. I'm here every day, and I love it.
I'm Bob Mills, and I've got a secret, so listen closely. This weekend only, I'm making sure you see all of our recliners 21% off. It doesn't matter if they're leather, upholstered, high-tech, or even lift chairs, like this Buffalo Swivel Gliding recliner in a rich leather. Not $794, just $627. That's less than $12 a month. And remember, all recliners 21% off. Only this weekend at Bob Mills.
So you've started your internet search for a new appliance, and lots of times, because of industry pricing policy, it looks like everyone is the same price. But as you continue to search through our competitors' website, make sure you look at the total price, cost for delivery, installation, required accessories, and haul away. Then do the same on Han's website, and we are confident that after you compare the total price, you'll choose to shop with us. Han Appliance Warehouse, the right price on the right product right now.
Hey, Thunder fans! If you've been hurt in a car wreck, just call. If you've been hit... Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold it! Rumble. Your cue is call Parrish Devon, the official personal injury lawyers of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Got it? If you've had a car wreck...
Something new is happening at Cox. Now when you get Cox Internet and mobile, the price of your plan won't go up for 3 years, guaranteed. That means no annual contracts. Plus, your Wi-Fi equipment is included. And you'll get unlimited data at no extra cost. That's a lot more of what you want and none of what you don't. Call today or visit cox.com/value to learn more.
David Stanley Chevrolet OKC. Slashing prices and payments to the core. On acres of new Chevys. Slash $8,000 off Silverado. Shop Equinox to 0 down, $435 a month. $494 a month on Colorado. Sign and drive with no payments for 6 months. Want $8,000 trade assistance? See the David Stanley Payoff Pros today. David Stanley Chevrolet OKC. Slashing prices to the core.
Extreme weather moving into the area. Better stay inside.
Me, I'm super fly, super duper fly, super duper fly. Me, I'm super fly, super duper fly.
Don't let what's happening outside affect how you feel inside. Pella windows are tested against extreme heat, cold, wind, and rain, so you can protect what matters most.
There has never been a better time to order Pella windows and doors than right now.
At Sooner Station Senior Living, every moment is an opportunity to create lasting memories. We're more than a senior living community. We're a beacon of hope and happiness. You don't have to live at home alone. Here, you'll feel the excitement of our vibrant social gatherings, find friendly smiles at our sports bar, and enjoy an elevated dining experience. Come meet your new friends and your new home. Embrace a new chapter. You've earned it. Sooner Station, now this is senior living.
McCann's Roofing and Construction. Hey Dad, do we do siding?
Yep.
Well, what about skylights and sun tunnels?
Yes, we do.
Was there anything we don't do?
We don't do that.
At McCann's, we keep it simple. One call does it all.
Her album, All Born Screaming, won 3 Grammy Awards. Performing Violent Times, ladies and gentlemen, St. Vincent.